Tonight, you're going to lose consciousness, enter a world that doesn't exist, have experiences that feel completely real, and remember almost none of it. This has happened to you every single night of your life. Scientists have been studying it for over a century. And they still cannot tell you why. Not really. Not fully. Not in a way that actually holds together. We have mapped the human genome. We have split the atom. We have sent machines to the edge of the solar system. And the thing that happens inside your skull every single night remains one of the most genuinely unsolved problems in all of science. The answer we do have is stranger than most people realize, and it starts not in a laboratory, but in 1952 with a graduate student who almost unplugged a machine because he thought it was broken. Eugene Oserinsky was studying sleep at the University of Chicago. One night he hooked his 8-year-old son up to an electroencephalograph, a machine that measures electrical activity in the brain, and left him to sleep. When he checked the readings, something was wrong. The needles were swinging wildly. The brain activity was enormous, frantic almost. He assumed the machine had malfunctioned. He went back to check on his son. His son was asleep, completely still, eyes closed. But when Oserinsky looked closer, he noticed something. His son's eyes were moving, rapidly, beneath his eyelids, like he was watching something. That discovery had a name within a year. Rapid Eye Movement Sleep, REM, and it changed everything. Before Oserinsky, scientists assumed sleep was simple. The brain powered down. The body rested. You woke up. What nobody realized was that sleep isn't one thing. It's a cycle. Every night your brain moves through 4 distinct stages. 3 of them are quiet. Then comes the 4th. REM, sleep. And during REM, your brain doesn't power down. It lights up. Nearly every region fires at once. Your heart rate climbs, your breathing becomes irregular, and your eyes dart back and forth as if tracking something moving fast through a dark room. This is when you dream. And your brain during this state looks almost identical to your brain while you're fully awake. The only major difference is that your body is paralyzed. A signal from your brainstem cuts motor function to your muscles. You cannot move. You cannot act on what you're experiencing. You are locked inside it. Scientists believe this paralysis is protective. Without it, you would act out your dreams. And we know this is true because there is a condition called REM sleep behavior disorder where the paralysis fails. People with this disorder physically act out their dreams while completely unconscious. They have punched walls, jumped out of windows, and attacked their partners in bed, all while dreaming, all with no memory of it. The paralysis isn't a side effect. It's the only thing keeping you still. But none of this explains why. Why does the brain do this at all? What is the point of building a fake world every night and running you through it? Here's where it gets complicated, because scientists don't agree. And the theories they have are each stranger than the last. The oldest theory is that dreams are random. In 1977, psychiatrists John Hobson and Robert McCarley proposed what they called the activation synthesis hypothesis. The idea was simple and brutal. During REM sleep, your brainstem fires random electrical signals upward into the cortex. The cortex, being the cortex, tries to make sense of them. It stitches together images, emotions, and narrative fragments from memory and presents them as a coherent experience. Dreams, by this theory, aren't messages. They aren't meaningful. They are your brain making the best story it can out of noise. But then why do dreams feel so real? Why do the same themes keep coming back? Why do people across every culture in human history, separated by thousands of years and thousands of miles, report the same recurring dreams? Being chased, falling, showing up somewhere unprepared? A second theory says dreams are a rehearsal. Neuroscientist Matthew Walker, who has spent decades studying sleep, argues that REM sleep is where the brain processes emotional experience. During the day, stressful events are encoded with a full chemical signature, the memory and the feeling attached to it. During REM sleep, Walker argues, the brain replays those memories but strips out the emotional charge. You remember what happened. The pain of it fades. Dreams, by this theory, are the brain doing emotional surgery on itself every single night, overnight therapy. And the evidence is striking. People who are deprived of REM sleep specifically, not just sleep in general, become emotionally dysregulated within days, irritable, reactive, unable to process social cues. The brain without dreams loses its ability to handle feeling. But there is a third theory, and it may be the strangest one. Neuroscientist Antti Revonsuo proposed in 2000 that dreams exist to simulate threat. He called it the threat simulation theory. The idea is that during REM sleep, the brain runs training scenarios. It puts you inside dangerous situations. Being chased, losing control, facing something terrifying, so that when those situations arise in waking life, your responses are already practiced. Dreams, by this reading, are not random. They are not therapy, they are a survival program, a flight simulator running every night so you don't crash when it counts. And this theory has one piece of evidence that is very hard to ignore. The most common dreams in humans are not pleasant ones. Across every culture ever studied, the most frequently reported dreams involve threat. Being pursued, being trapped, failing at something that matters. If dreams were just noise, you'd expect neutral content most of the time. If dreams were just emotional processing, you'd expect a wider range. But the consistent bias toward threat across all of humanity suggests something older, something evolutionary, something that was already running long before any of us were born. Here is what we actually know. Your brain will enter REM sleep tonight whether you want it to or not. It will build a world, it will cast you inside it, it will feel real in a way that is almost impossible to describe until you wake up and it dissolves. You will forget most of it within minutes. And the part that stays, the dream that felt important, the one that left something heavy behind when you opened your eyes, science cannot tell you what that was. Every human being who has ever lived has dreamed. Ancient Egyptians built temples where people slept specifically to receive messages in their dreams. Indigenous cultures across every continent treated dreams as a second life, as real and as meaningful as the waking one. Modern neuroscience can tell you which part of the brain lights up. It can tell you when in the night it happens. It can measure the paralysis and the eye movement and the electrical storm happening beneath your skull. What it cannot tell you is what any of it means. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the fact that we still don't know, that the most advanced imaging technology ever built still can't crack what happens behind your closed eyes every night. Maybe that says something about how much of being human is still completely in the dark. You'll find out again tonight.